And welcome back to the Ghastly Toy Crypt. I know that this is the video you have been waiting for all of Toylanta to see what I picked up at Toylanta. But before I show you, no, I'm kidding. We're just going to get right into it. There's a lot of stuff to show you. Uh, I do once again want to thank Toylanta for having me out. It was such a fantastic show. I loved it. I gushed about it at the end of the last video. So let's go ahead and move on to the toys. All right, so the first unofficial night, some of us went over to a fellow toy tuber's house, and Seth Bayer was there. So if you're familiar with Seth, he has a fantastic toy hunt channel. He had brought some figures for some people, and then he had this one random figure that he picked that he got in one of those like NECA blind boxes. It was like, you pay X amount of hundreds of dollars and you get X amount of figures in there. And there was this one figure. He's like, what in the world is this? And he's like, does anybody want this? And I said, dude, I'll take it. I love it. So Seth gave me this 2006 John Lennon figure. And I love it. I mean, the Beatles are my favorite band of all time, and John is my favorite Beatle, so I figured at the very least I could probably put this at my cube at work. But Seth, thank you so much for this. I really, really appreciate it. That is a fun figure. See, where do I want to go? Where do I want to start? Where do I want to start? Right, you know what? We're gonna stuff that we got from friends. JB from JB's Toy Trunk. So JB and Marcia, we're all in a group chat, and I said I was looking for a certain DC figure, and JB said, "Oh, I have an extra one of those." So he brought it for me, and JB, thank you so much because you could have sold this for much more money than you asked me for it, or you asked from me. But JB brought me the DC McFarlane Multiverse Classic Penguin, but the Platinum version. And this is gonna get open because this is gonna go with my classic Batman characters on my shelf in my overflow room, which much to my wife's chagrin, I have an overflow room. But JB, thank you so much for this penguin. I really appreciate it. The first official thing that I want to show you that I picked up at Toylanta is from this cool art studio called Cannibal Junction. And they have an Instagram right there. I actually need to go and follow this Instagram page myself. But they had some really cool prints of cats and tiki, and I love my tiki glasses. I love my tiki culture. So I picked up this really cool print of a black cat with a skeleton showing. And I've got Spooky. I am a proud parent of of a black cat. So I figured I had to represent. So I picked up this print from Cannibal Junction. Once again, there is that card. So check that out. I really don't know where to start. Let's go ahead. The one thing that I picked up from the Four Horsemen booth. Now, the Four Horsemen, they have their new Necronominus wave out, but they've recently started to match their prices with what their retailers are. So there was nothing at the table that I felt like I had to get as far as the Necronominus wave or like the retail stuff. But there is one figure that they created, and it is going to be a convention only figure up until about the end of the year, where it will go up on their website for sale. But I picked up this Mythic Legions legendary barbarian, and if you can see, there's a head swap right here and a couple of different other hair swaps. One is black, one is a little like dirty blonde, and you could make something that looks like Conan the Barbarian, and you might be able to make something that looks like He-Man. But this is a legendary barbarian, so I picked this up, and I've been sitting on this stuff for a week, and I haven't opened any of it because I wanted to film this video. But I've been really wanting to dive into this, so once this video is done, this is probably the first thing I'm going to open. We saw our friends from Sparrow Toys. They had brand new Animal Warriors of the Kingdom figures. Well, at least brand new to me. Jason and Derek are always fantastic. I always love seeing them at shows. I always love catching up with them. And they're both Louisiana boys. I'm a Louisiana boy. We talk about crawfish a lot. It's just kind of what we do every time we meet up. But I did pick up two figures from the Animal Warriors of the Kingdom line. I've been anticipating getting these for a while. I could have ordered them, but I do know that I see them sporadically throughout the year, and it means more whenever I can buy something from them. So I always wait to see them at a show. But the first thing I got was a Gladiator mongrel figure. So, man, he is so cool. So cool. And his jaw is hinged. You probably saw in the video when Jason was messing around with it. The jaw is hinged. And, man, let me tell you, like, these guys are giving a lot of the Hasbro figures a run for their money. This is a great quality figure. I love them. I was only going to do the cat figures, but this mongrel was just too damn good for me to pass up. But speaking about the cat figures, I did get, I believe it's a jaguar. It's either a jaguar or a cheetah. Does it say on the back? It does not say on the back, but his name is Akin. And he is really, I like his blade and like the markings on the blade right here. You get a couple of hand swaps. I, man, these figures are, they're just so good. Why are they so good? Guys, why are your figures so good? And they were previewing some other figures that are upcoming. I think we get the big Lion Brute Boy pretty soon. Very excited for those. So, man, again, I can't wait to tear into those. Let me just casually turn and see what I want want to show next. Oh, there was the one thing that I wasn't expecting to find, and I picked it up on the last day. Um, I haven't really been too big on Super 7 stuff lately, unless it goes on super clearance. But there was one figure that piqued my interest, and it, for some reason, kept getting pushed back. But then I think a small amount got released, and they were going for astronomical amounts of money. Saw a gentleman upstairs, all the way in the to the room to the right. If you saw the third video, we took a look at his table and you got to hear him speak. But I picked up a Super 7 Ultimates Mars Attacks Alien. I've been wanting a Mars Attacks Alien for quite a while, and I was originally going to go with the DNA Designs figures, but those things have been on pre-order for close to 2 years now, and I just do not think that those things will ever get released. There was a lot of speculation after the Earthworm Jim figure line fiasco. So I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna throw my money towards that. So I decided to go Super 7, and there were two options. They had this one, and then they had one that was like a battle damaged alien. But I decided to go with this guy, and I just look at him. Look at him. He just looks like a little Martian doofus. I just. But the movie's great too. I love the movie. So, but yeah, the Mars Attacks figure is great, and I don't know, it'll go in my hodgepodge shelf or something. It's fun. In the second video, you saw all of us kind of walking around the hotel, the different floors of the hotel. People had room sales. There was also the lobby sale, but for the room sales, people would just leave their door open, and you were just welcome to come on in. You just, if no one else was in there, you just give it like a little knock and walk right on in, and people were very welcoming. It is still a little unsettling to me that people are like, just come on in my room and buy my stuff. It's weird, but you never know what you're gonna find on those. Like, the going to room sales are kind of like going to the toy swaps that we do every other month here in North Georgia, where you just don't know what's gonna be there, you don't know what's gonna show up, and it's usually going to be a very good price. So I found two things that I was looking for. Anytime I go to a Toylanta show, I always say I want to leave with at least one vintage figure. And that one vintage figure is usually a GoBot or a Rock Lord. Last year I walked with both. This year I also walked with both, and it was from this room sale. So the Rock Lord I can't remember this character's name, but I do remember having him as a child. I do like the gray and blue combination on this guy. Here we go. I'll get in closer so you can kind of take a look at him. I'd say he's built stiff, but he's supposed to be a rock, so Jesus. But I got him, and the one thing that wasn't expecting to find, but I did, was I got one of the main GoBots. I found the Guardian Robot Scooter, and he was one of the the six main characters, but he was one of the three main good guys. And I never had the Scooter toy as a child. I had Leader One and I had Turbo, but Scooter is kind of like the bumblebee of GoBots. So he was very popular. His toy would all, even though it was very plentiful, it was always hard to find. So I got both of these for like $20, and I'm not mad at that. $10 each, sold. And the last two things that I got from Toylanta, I picked up from our good buddies over at Ginger Kid Collectibles. Jason and Chance are awesome. They are a Four Horsemen retailer, so we're very fortunate that we have an official retailer in the North Georgia area. So he can be our Four Horsemen dealer, I guess. Um, but he sells so much more than just Four Horsemen stuff. He does Marvel Legends. Does GI Joe Classified. He does. I think he sells the DC multiverse stuff as well. You saw his booth in the videos. But I also want to give him a big congratulations because at the time of filming this, they just found out they are going to get a brick and mortar space in Athens, Georgia. And but congratulations to you guys. I know that you guys have been putting in years of hard work, and you guys have been doing just years of vendor shows and not really having a set space. The fact that you guys now have a brick and mortar set space, congratulations. I'm very excited for you guys, and I can't wait to see the store whenever it has its grand opening, hopefully here in a few months. But what did I pick up from Ginger Kid Collectibles? The first thing was kind of an impulse purchase because the second thing was what I actually went to get. The first thing here is the new wave, the fan channel wave of Marvel Legends came out. And I wasn't planning on getting Marvel's Husk, but he had like three or four of them. And I looked at it, I was like, man, this looks really good. And to be honest with you, I'm in on this Build-A-Figure as well for the Nemesis character. I had originally only planned to get the Gambit from Age of Apocalypse and the Cyclops from like the X Factor Cyclops, and then I was just gonna see if I could piece together all of the Build-A-Figure pieces that other people might not have wanted. But I saw the Husk, and what really sold me on the Husk was the secondary head sculpt and how she also comes with a piece of skin that looks like she's ripping her, because that's her mutant power. Like she can rip her skin off. And I know that I'm not too boned up on the details, but I do know that it has like something to do with like her physical outer layer becoming much stronger. So it looks like she kind of has like some metal or steel underneath that, and that's why her name's Husk. But I picked this up at he had it for retail for $25, so I decided, you know what, I'm here. It's a toy show. You only live once. YOLO. Put it in the cart. So I put it in the cart and then I bought it. What else was in the cart? Well, this was my big purchase over the weekend. I picked up the Four Horsemen Graveyard Skeleton 4-pack. Now, I went really hard last year on the Skeleton Legion Builder 2. I ordered two, and then I had some figures, so I traded for two more. And then I think I purchased a fifth one from our buddy Matt 13Z Customs. And I was like, you know what? I'm good. I'm good with that. Well, here come the Four Horsemen. They said, you know what? These skeletons are so great. We're going to put them in a 4-pack. We're going to give them a slightly different paint job. So they're a little bit more brighter than the other ones are. The other ones are a little bit more dingy. But what really sold this for me, aside from having new accessories like there's the jack-o'-lantern that typically comes with your headless horseman figure, but I like how the skeletons have skull helmets as well. But somebody over at the Four Horsemen Studios, you know who you are, because I talked to you at Toylanta, is also must be a very big Disney fan, because the artwork on this box is 100% reminiscent of the Walt Disney Silly Symphony's Skeleton Dance. and it's probably my favorite Silly Symphony cartoon of all time. And when I saw this, I was like, well, I clearly have to own that. So I went ahead and picked up the Skeleton 4 pack. I haven't opened it up yet, so I don't know what all the fun stuff that's in here, like what it comes with. But there's shields, there's swords, there's accessories, there are the skull helmets. It's I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do with these guys, but man, I can't wait. Okay, so that's all the stuff that I got at Toylanta. I do have a few things here that I picked up post Toylanta that I just want to show, just because I don't think I'm going to have another place to put them as far as videos, because I don't know when the next toy hunt video is going to be, and I kind of want to tear into these. I try not to open stuff. Sometimes I get impatient. But so we were talking about the Marvel Legends, the wave with the husk, and how I wanted the Cyclops. Well, I found out at one of my local Best Buys. Best Buy. Yeah, one of the local Best Buy stores, Best Buys. What am I talking about? They had it in stock. Not only did they have it in stock, but they had it for in-store pickup. So I went ahead and put in an order online, and the next morning I woke up and said, "Hey, come get your shit." So I went and I got my shit. So I got the Cyclops. This Cyclops is great. I'm going to now work on getting a classic X-Men shelf together now that I finished my 90s Jim Lee uh, shelf. So I'm kind of moving on to like late 70s, early 80s X-Men. So, and we've got some more in the pipeline to pick up for this wave. So I got this Cyclops. The next thing I want to show you, I wasn't sure I was going to start collecting. I did pick up one or two of these figures in the past, and I thought, that's all I need. I don't need everybody else. But turns out, no, I did in fact need everybody else. So I picked up the Lisa Simpson figure. I know that she was getting a little hard to find. I think she's a lot easier to find now. I still don't have the regular Bart. I have Bart Man, and the first one I got was Homer. And I was actually just going to stop at Homer just because he's my favorite Simpsons character. But the more I thought about it, I was like, it would be nice to get the entire family, because whenever Super 7 was putting them out, they didn't even get a chance to do any of the regular family members. So they were just doing a lot of these weird, obscure characters, which I'm fine with. I love that. But I was like, $12 a figure. I can go in on the family, and then I can get my weird, obscure figures. So I need to get the Marge that comes with Maggie, and I need to get Bart. The next thing I want to show you was very much an impulse buy. I don't know why I went for it, but I was like, yeah, you know what? Why not? Let's just go ahead and get it. So I picked up the SH Figuarts Spider-Punk. I'm not really a big SH Figuarts guy. I do have an Indiana Jones Figuarts figure, and I was content to stop there. I don't need like the super high end stuff from of all these characters, but it was on sale for a really good price. I think I got this on Amazon for like $57, which it's normally like an $85 figure. So I was like, all right, I'll get in when the getting's good. And it's also Spider Punk, so I feel like you know uh, with just the overall general punk rock vibe of the channel, I was like, you know what, Spider Punk. I'll get him. I'll get him. We'll put him on the shelf. Come on. And the last thing I want to show you is something that I found this morning. I wasn't expecting to find this out in the wild. As a matter of fact, my pre-order for this item was set to ship out a few days from now. But I was like, well, if it's not register locked, I'll just go ahead and buy it, cancel my pre-order. And surprise, it wasn't register locked. But I picked up our Bone Crusher, one of our 6 Constructicons from the upcoming Studio Series Devastator. I'm very excited for this. I'm very excited for this Devastator. I did sell my Combiner Wars Devastator, so I can go in on this one. And I do have the Scrapper. I picked up the Scrapper a couple weeks ago, and I love it. So it's the quality of these figures, I think, are much better than the Combiner Wars figures. The Combiner Wars figures does have the height, so that is nice. But I do think like the build and the plastic quality on these are much better. So I'm very excited to bust open our Constructicon Bone Crusher right here. Hold on, that's a lie. I have one more thing to show you. I actually was supposed to pick this up at Toylanta, but I couldn't get it because the guy I was getting it from was Brett, who was running the show. He was just so busy, and I was like, you know what? I'll see you the weekend after. So he brought something that he's been holding for me for quite a while. This is just one part of it, but bruh, this guy right here. I skipped out on the Ark whenever it came out the first time, and you know, I regretted it. So he said he had an extra one, and I said I will take it. So here it is. He's more than likely going to get uh, displayed in his ship mode on the Transformers, the Autobot shelf back there. But I've got this big boy right here now. So very excited to add him to the shelf. And he's got his little dude, his little guy right here, his mini me, if you will. And that's it. That is the wave of toys that I've had on my desk for the last, I don't know, 7 or 8 days, and I've just kind of been chomping at the bit to open some of them. But I wanted to get all the other videos out, and I wanted to get this video recorded before I tore into them. All right, now it's the end of the video, I promise. So thank you so much for watching. Please like, please subscribe. Toy Hunts will be coming back very soon. So thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. We'll see you real soon. Stay spooky.